Donald Trump's deteriorating mental condition continues to accelerate, and Donald Trump's bizarre and dangerous press appearances continue on. He gave multiple press appearances today, each one odder than the next. Here's the first one where he was asked a question about his purported plan to send American troops to occupy Gaza. He didn't want to talk about it, but I'll tell you who wants to talk about it. Most Middle East countries say that if Donald Trump were to try to do that, it would be an act of war. Even the Israel ambassador to the United Nations rejected what Donald Trump was saying, but here he is right here. Let's play it.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. It's a great day.
Can we ask about your Gaza proposal? A lot of people are talking about, obviously.
Everybody loves it, but this is just not the right time. But we'll maybe do something later. This is a very important and, in my opinion, solemn occasion. So I don't think we want to talk about other subjects.
Then Donald Trump held a press conference in the White House where he talked about a transgender ban in college sports or in sports in general. But before announcing that ban, he said that Tommy Tuberville, who is the Republican senator from Alabama, who was a college football coach, Donald Trump claimed that Tuberville was the coach of Mahomes. He was never the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Mahomes. Here, play this clip.
Sick, right? Yeah. And Tommy Tuberville, a great coach. You know, his quarterback was named Mahomes. He was a great college coach. And I said, how good was he? He said, you don't want to know how good. He made me into a great coach. He's pretty good quarterback, right? Yeah, he was very good. He's a good guy, too. Also,
now I want to talk about what Donald Trump said next. Very disturbing, dangerous, just bullying behavior against the trans community. I want to let everybody in the trans community know that we stand in solidarity with you here at the MeidasTouch Network, and we will always stand up for you here at the MeidasTouch Network. I want to show you this clip first, though, because when the head of the NCAA spoke before the Senate recently, the guy's name is Charlie Baker, used to be the governor of Massachusetts, Republican governor, but a pretty moderate guy, what Republicans used to be. Democratic Senator Dick Durbin asked Charlie Baker, of the 510,000 NCAA athletes, how many are actually trans? I think the number was less than 10. Here, play this clip.
But I'd like to ask you a question or two. How many athletes are there in the United States in NCAA schools?
510,000.
How many transgender athletes are you aware of?
Less than 10.
Less than 10
Yep.
out of 510,000?
Yep.
Now, I think it's important that I share with you that context first before showing you these clips, so you know that this whole agenda is about attacking and destroying the lives of 10 people in the NCAA, but to create a broader chilling effect on an already marginalized community throughout the United States. I think it's absolutely despicable. But of course, Donald Trump wanted to turn this press conference more about him personally. And also it was a time for him to mock others' physical appearances. So here's Donald Trump attacking MAGA Republican Senator Mike Lee's hair. Here, play this clip.
Mike Lee, where's Mike? Mike? I love his new haircut. I love that haircut, Mike. He just said the hell with it, right? I think you look great.
Then Donald Trump looks in the room and says that the women and girls around him are beautiful, and he says that he wants to call them beautiful. But if he does that, that could be trouble for him. Here, play this clip.
You know, I'm not allowed to say this politically. It could end my career. They're really beautiful people. These are beautiful people. But you know, like everything else, it's a little bit different today. You're not allowed to say that, because if you call a woman or a girl beautiful, that's the end of your career. But let's take a chance on it, Mike. Let's take a chance. So I'm going to...
Should be noted that Donald Trump was found liable for sexual assault. He was one of Jeffrey Epstein's close friends. He wished Ghislaine Maxwell well at her sex trafficking trial. Donald Trump is also on audio recording bragging about grabbing women by their vaginas without their consent. Donald Trump is a predator. Next, Donald Trump talks about, again, making this all about him at this press conference. He then talks about how he offered to build a ballroom in the White House for $100 million, but never heard back. Do you even know what he's talking about here? Here, play this clip.
When the people outside, they can't even get in. This room is packed. And, I offered to build a ballroom. I'm very good at building ballrooms. I build beautiful ballrooms. And I actually offered to build a ballroom for the White House. I was going to build it right there. This was going to be the reception room. And then I was going to build a beautiful, beautiful ballroom like I have at Mar-a-Lago, as beautiful as it can be. It was going to cost about $100 million. I offered to do it, and I never heard back. I offered to do it to the Biden administration, very active administration. They didn't hear back. And I said again and again, 3-4 times, I said to top people, and they just didn't know what to do. They sort of said, this is good, but they had no idea. So I'm going to try and make the offer to myself, because we could use a bigger room. Right, Marsha? We could use a bigger room. President, would you like to build? Yeah, I would. We could use at the White House. It would actually be a beautiful addition. It's going to cost nothing. I'll spend the whole thing myself. We'll do a big, beautiful room, but we could use it at the White House. You know what they do when they have a big ceremony? They put up a tent. And somehow I think we've outgrown the tent stuff, right? Don't you think?
Then he goes on to talk more about two genders. This is what they're spending their day on, and they're obsessed with talking about penises and vaginas all day. Play this clip.
But the actions we're taking today are the latest in a sweeping effort to reclaim our culture and our laws from the radical left crusade against biological reality. On day one, I made it official, and I'm making it official policy of the United States government that there is, two genders. We have two genders. What might they be? Man and woman, right? Man.
Then he talks about how he's directing their Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, to deny visas for trans athletes competing in American sports. Play this clip.
And for the same reason, just to make sure, I'm also directing our Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, who's also she's out there with you, Greg, a fantastic job. She's unbelievable. I was watching her riding yesterday on a horse. She was as good as anybody. She's very good. To deny any and all visa applications made by men attempting to fraudulently enter the United States while identifying themselves as women athletes, try and get into the games maybe where they are unable to get into the games.
Then Donald Trump asks MAGA Republican Congress member Ronnie Jackson, who was once a doctor at the White House, who's the healthiest person? Then he makes Ronnie Jackson say Trump. I mean, again, this is like Kim Jong-un, Saddam Hussein stuff. I mean, actually, they weren't as bad and shameless and humiliating as this, which is saying a lot. Here, play this clip.
Who is the healthiest patient you ever had? You know why I liked him? The fake news asked, so doctor, he had Obama, Bush, and Trump in the White House. He was the White House doctor. And they asked him, who's the healthiest of the three? He said, it's not close. It's Donald Trump. And from that moment, I love this guy. Right? Thank you, Ronnie.
Speaking of this Kim Jong-un behavior, here's the press secretary saying, this is what we want. Out-of-the-box thinker. Play this clip.
President Trump is an outside-of-the-box thinker and a visionary leader who solves problems that many others, especially in this city, claim are unsolvable.
Okay, well, let's take a look at this out-of-the-box thinking. The Israeli ambassador to the United Nations says Palestinians shouldn't be forced out of Gaza. Also, Jordan says that they're ready for war with Israel if Palestinians are expelled into its territory. All of the bordering states have said that this is a horrible idea and have condemned it in very, very strong terms. This is kind of a creepy moment where Donald Trump has the young girls go around him. And again, Donald Trump is someone found liable for sexual assault. He was friends with Epstein. He was on the plane multiple times. Let me show you this clip.
Donald Trump. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you. You know, if you'd like to gather around me, I think I'm going to be okay. Come on. Come on.
Should be noted as well that today, a Delta Airlines and a Japan Airlines planes collided on the ground in Seattle. No one was believed to be in any serious type of injuries. But once again, this is Donald Trump and Musk and others in that regime gutting the FAA. And again, this is what, the third incident in as many weeks, just utterly destroying the government and making us all feel less safe. Trump administration making us feel less safe, that's for sure. I want to leave you with this, because if I show you Trump clips, I think I should end with some sort of cleanser at the end. So here is John F. Kennedy, and here he is explaining the purpose of U.S. aid to the naysayers of his time. Here, play this clip.
The presence of the United States is as a leading power in the free world is involved in your work directly. The people who are opposed to aid should realize that this is a very powerful source of strength for us. It permits us to exert influence for the maintenance of freedom. If we were not so heavily involved, our voice would not speak with such vigor. And as we do not want to send American troops to a great many areas where freedom may be under attack, we send you. And you working with the people in those countries to try to work with them in developing the economic thrust of their country so that they can make a determination that they can solve their problems without resorting to totalitarian control and becoming part of the bloc.
Yeah, now that's the entity that Elon Musk and Donald Trump have destroyed. Children across the world, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions dying right now as a result of their action. Cruelty by a disgusting authoritarian regime here in the United States. The Trump authoritarian regime, the worst president in American history. Someone who will live in infamy in history, and we will hold him accountable here every day at the MeidasTouch Network on your behalf. We will fight together. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.